have a problem with this this mic, so let me know if you can't hear me. Well, good evening, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the 5th annual Senior Colleen contest. My name is Bridget Fiala. This is my 4th year hosting this. It has become, I think, a tradition because the crowd keeps getting bigger and bigger. They put this on and they've done a great job with that, it's always a fun night, so it's something I look forward to. Tonight with me is my co-host, Sean Powers, newly elected to the West Springfield City Council. He is filling in for Brian Clune tonight. Brian is having a family emergency, and so we'd like to keep Brian and his family in our prayers tonight. So at this time, I'd like to hand the mic over to Sean, and we're going to get going.
Good evening, everybody. Before we do get going, I'd just like to point out a couple people that are in the crowd. We have this year's parade marshal, Jim Martin. Jim Martin, if you could please stand, thank you.
They're not in the crowd.
No, they're not here.
But no, we acknowledge them anyways. But.
And then for those of there are some people not here tonight. We would like to recognize Joe and Ann Calabrese are getting the Citizenship Award, and then EJ Landscaping is getting the Old Mitneg Award. Greg Spear cannot make it, and he's getting the Jinx Powers Award. And then longtime City Councilor George Kelly is in attendance tonight. Thank you, George. And with that, I would like to introduce the 2017 Senior Colleen, Wendy Ward, accompanied by Mayor William Reichelt and the contestants.
No. Look at that, she's got it right down pat.
We're standing behind him. Thank you, everybody. And now, Wendy Ward, if you can say a few things for the crowd.
And then introduce the contestant.
I'd like to thank the parade committee and everyone last year who voted for me. And I'll tell you what, I had the most spectacular, fun year that you can ever imagine. The parade, whoever wins tonight, you are going to be surprised at how much fun you have. It's the parties, the recognition, and the parade. And everything that goes with the parade. So I want to thank everyone for a wonderful year. I had a blast, and whoever wins tonight, I wish you the same fun. It's spectacular. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Wendy. And now we're going to have the 2018 contestants introduce themselves.
How are you?
Hello everyone, I am contestant number 1.
Hello everyone, I am contestant number 2.
Hello everyone, I'm contestant number 3, and I'm so glad to be here tonight.
Hello, I'm contestant number 4, like a early closer.
Aww.
Hello, and I'm contestant number 5.
We're going to trick someone.
Taranoma. Hopefully I did that well, but it means good evening. I'm contestant number 6, and I hope you enjoy your evening.
Good evening, I'm contestant number 7, like lucky number 7.
Maybe next year we'll get a
Thank you guys. Maybe
longer
next year we'll have a
little longer
wireless
cord.
microphone or.
Yeah, get with the times.
Right, so.
So at this time, we're going to ask the contestants to go back out to the hallway, and we'll begin the official introductions. Read the bios.
Thank you.
You can have your walk of fame.
It's all right.
Used.
It's all right.
I think that means you can get a drink.
I left the other side of the bar. It's right here.
Oh, well, go. Are you standing up there? Oh, let's take a picture. Good job. See you. Looking good out there. All right, while we wait for the contestants to get lined up, we do have a little bit of audience trivia. So I guess I'll start with the first one. And they have little gift bags here for people to win. So the first question, I guess we could yell it out. Sean, try to pay attention to who says it first, I guess, with me. I don't know. Which style of ring is often considered the wedding ring? Oh. Maybe that's not the best way to do this. Arlene, there's no instruction up here on how we're supposed to do the trivia. So I saw Kathy Nash raise her hand back there. We're going to go with that. Any suggestions on how we should do the second bag of candy? One more question and then we'll get going. So Erin go bra means this, it means this in Irish. Right there.
Right?
Okay, are our contestants ready? I think usually there's someone right there at the door. All right, here we go. Contestant number 1, escorted by the 2018 President of the West Springfield St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee, Chris Thompson. She is a first-generation Irish American, holding both United States and Irish citizenship and passports. Her mother is from Dublin and her stepfather from Tralee, Kerry. She grew up in West Springfield, attending school at Immaculate Conception while living on Hill Street in the Merrick section, then St. Thomas the Apostle while living in Birch Park Circle. During her childhood, she was fortunate enough to spend every summer in Ireland with her numerous relatives. It always struck her as strange that she was considered an American while staying in Ireland, yet Irish when in the States. Her siblings and she frequented all of the local Irish clubs as children and took Irish dancing for many years. Her mother and stepfather are fabulous dancers, and they keep the tradition alive as much as possible. She attended West Springfield High School before working at Steiger's department store as a fashion buyer at 18 years old. She continued to work at Steiger's for 14 years as a buyer, assistant store manager, and store manager at both the Plaza location in Springfield and the Hampshire Mall in Hadley, until the store closed its doors after 100 years in business. Once Steiger's closed, she finished her education at the Our Lady of the Elms College in Chicopee. During this time, she married a wonderful man from Glasgow, Scotland, and had 3 beautiful daughters. When her husband was transferred to Florida while working for the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, she began law school at one of the few Catholic law schools in the country, Barry University in Orlando, Florida. During her last semester of law school, her husband tragically died in an accident, so she moved her children, at ages 9, 8, and 5, back to the safety of her family in her hometown of West Springfield. She was fortunate enough to finish her legal studies at Trinity College in Dublin, while her children stayed with their father's family in Glasgow. After passing the bar exam, she began working as an adjunct professor at Elms College and opened her own law firm in West Springfield under the guidance of her mentor and dear friend, the late Judge Ann Gibbons. Soon thereafter, she became a professor at Elms College, where she continues to teach today. She moved her at-home law practice to West Springfield, where her business currently resides. She's involved in various associations, such as the Massachusetts Bar, the National Academy of Elder Law Attorneys, Senior Partners for Justice, Western Massachusetts HIV/AIDS Law Consortium Pro Bono Attorney, St. Thomas More Society, Holyoke Community College Advisory Board for Paralegal Studies, National Association for Legal Assistance, Western Mass Paralegal Association, Junior Achievement Volunteer, patron of the West Springfield Mass Irish Cultural Center, and a member of the West Springfield Rotary Club. She travels to Ireland yearly and is proud of her Irish heritage every day of the year, not just during the high holy month of March. Contestant number 1. Just drinking salt.
Perfect. All right. Next, we have contestant number 2, escorted by the 1991 Citizenship and 2013 Thomas Jinks Powers Award winner, Bill Joseph. Contestant number 2 was born of Irish descent in Miami, Florida, on September 22nd, 1961. She not only got her Irish heritage from her paternal grandmother, but her name. She moved to Cape Cod in 1970, then to West Springfield in 1972, when she was 11 years old. Her family remained here while she attended Mittenegg Elementary, Conway Junior High, and then West Springfield High School. She lived on Pine Street, Mosher Street, and then Fox Street. Graduating from Northeastern University in 1984 with a BS in Business and an MBA from Western New England University in 1992. She's held positions in banking and industry and lived in West Springfield until she married in 1995 when she relocated to Enfield, Connecticut. She's continued her accounting career until 1997 when she decided to stay at home and raise her son and daughter. Meanwhile, she worked part-time as an instructor at Branford Hall for accounting, business, and Microsoft software and programming courses. During all of her experiences in education, she became interested in being a teacher full-time, and since she loved working with numbers, decided to obtain her teaching license in mathematics. Once both of her children were in school full-time, she began teaching mathematics primarily in Manchester and has been teaching at Enfield High School for the last 3 years. She's recently obtained her 6-year certificate from UConn and is certified to be a school administrator. She loves being an educator, teaching geometry and computer programming. Along with her career, she runs a club, Girls Who Code, to help promote female interest in computer programming, and a club, Furry Friends Charity Club, which helps promote awareness and raise funds to help animal shelters. She also teaches adults in the GED math program. She has family on both her mother's and father's sides who still reside in West Springfield, and family in North Carolina, California, and Louisiana. She has visited them over the years, and most of her travel is to see her family, but also she loves staying at the Cape or in Boston. She hopes to visit Europe someday. Her interests are music, animals, computers, and the beach. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 2.
Don't worry. It's a rookie thing.
It's going to be a lot of those.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Contestant number 3, escorted by 2017 Parade Marshal Mary Ruth Kane. She was born and raised and still lives in the town, she will always call it a town, of West Springfield. She is blessed to still have her parents, her father who was 90 years old and her mother who was 87. She has 2 children, a son and a vegan daughter, for whom she loves to cook for, vegan-wise. Her daughter is named after her dad, so she hears that she is number 1 in her will. Her children always ask, Mom, why in the world do you still live in the same town you were born? She explains how she loves going to the corner store, knowing everyone, and they knowing her. She always stressed that she also knows most of the police officers in town. They still don't get it. She has volunteered for various organizations such as the March of Dimes, the United Way, the Jimmy Fund, the Lion's Den, Mayor's Winter Carnival, the Taste of West Springfield, Novemberfest, and she's been treasurer for the school's various sports associations. She is past president of the West Springfield Rotary Club and proud to say the 3rd female president. She works as an operations manager in town and also caters and bartends for a local business. Last year it was so much fun marching in the parade with an award-winning group that she would really like to ride in a car this year. Hint, hint. In her spare time, she likes trying new recipes, yes, even vegan ones, and she likes to read, and if you know her at all, she will go to her happy place no matter what time of year, which is Old Orchard Beach, Maine. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 3. Your job is not done yet, Rue.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 4 is a Christian woman that was, contestant number 4 is escorted tonight by committee member Tom Cragen. She is a Christian woman that was married at Immaculate Conception Church in West Springfield 30 years ago this coming May. Her Irish descent comes from her husband's wonderful mother. Before she married, she lived in West Springfield until 1989. After her first daughter was born, she moved to Chicopee for 11 months, then moved to Buffalo, New York for 10 years, moving back to Massachusetts in 1999. She's the third daughter of 5 biological children. Her parents later fostered and adopted 2 siblings, 1 sister and 1 boy. With a grand total of a family of 8, she graduated from West Springfield High School in 1979. After having her first daughter, she started babysitting at home. When she moved to Buffalo, she had her second daughter. She wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, so she opened a licensed home daycare and named it Little Darlings. In 2009, her husband and she learned that the Bible says to look after the orphans and widows in their distress. They took the MAPP training needed to be foster parents. Together, and since then, they have fostered 15 children long-term in their 9 years of living. Currently, they have a foster son age 2 and a foster daughter age 3 months old in their home. In 2016, they adopted their 7-year-old foster daughter. Her biological daughters are now 28 and 25. Her younger daughter is now married and has blessed them with their first grandchild, who is 2.5. She loves to bake as a stress reliever, but she is more of a fan of quality chocolate. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 4.
What?
So if you have to move that.
You're good. You're good. Great job. You're welcome. Contestant number 5, escorted by 2015 Parade Marshal Bob Collins. She is a proud native of West Springfield, educated in West Springfield schools, has no formal college education. What she does have is experience, a positive attitude, and a good work ethic. She has worked since she was a teenager, initially through the Youth Corps for several summers, and then her first full-time job was a bakery clerk at Maynard's Bakery in the center, to Sam Black Book Distributors, to Sweet Life Foods. Her longest-term job, where she gained most skills, was Anatech Printing Plates in Holyoke. After they closed, she has worked for a private business in Westfield since 2001. To her great fortune, she was offered the opportunity to purchase the companies that she worked for, and she is proud to say that she said yes. She, along with her 3 partners, just started their biggest business adventure to date. She was married in 1981, and their lives were filled with joy when their daughter was born in 1986. With 2 working parents, she attended the West Springfield Boys and Girls Club for several years. During that time, she volunteered and really saw how many children in our community lacked influence and direction. When given the opportunity, based on a nomination, she proudly and terrifyingly accepted to be a part of the Board of Trustees. That was 20 years ago. She has been chair and co-chair of the Tour of Homes, which is one of the larger fundraisers for the West Springfield Boys and Girls Club. She has participated and volunteered her time to various functions at the club. She received the 2006 Elizabeth Stanton Sullivan Memorial Award from the Boys and Girls Club. To date, this is one of her most favorite and positive experiences of her life. She says she has grown as much as an adult with the club as any child has. She is fortunate to have met many wonderful people throughout that affiliation. She's also happy to say that she is still happily married and enjoys motorcycling, boating, and camping. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 5.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 6 is escorted tonight by the 2008 Thomas Jinks Powers Award winner, Jim Sheridan. Contestant number 6 was born in Springfield on October 18, 1956. Her Irish heritage comes from her father. She grew up in Springfield most of her life and has 2 older brothers and a younger sister. Her parents have passed on. However, a very big part of who she is today came from lessons learned from her beautiful and strong mom and very hardworking father. She was married for 25 years, and after Heaven's gain of her 2 babies and fostering 23 children in 8 years, adopted 2 boys and a girl. Their boys are in their early adult years, and their daughter is in junior high school and soon to venture out on her own career path. Her career path was in the medical field for many years. She then further developed her skills mostly in the office management area and direct sales as well. She is presently administrative assistant at an elderly housing property where she gets to use her skills and most specifically, gift of love for people. She is also a leader in tastefully simple gourmet foods. Her strong faith in God and the way He designed her has given her a better understanding these last few years of who she is meant to be in life. She is an encourager, she is hospitable, merciful, loyal, and friendly, and she thoroughly enjoys seeing herself and others' happiness. Her hobbies include singing, traveling, relaxing at the beach, and enjoying special times with friends and family. She truly strives to live each day by trying to see the best in others and being a small part of joy and peace in someone else's day. Enjoy your evening, and thank you very much for the honor of being with her tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 6.
Excuse me. Contestant number 7, escorted by 2014 Parade Marshal Aldo Pyer. She was born of Irish descent in Hungry Hills, Springfield, Mass., home of the Irish, on September 14, 1961. She moved to West Springfield at the age of 4 and lived on Great Plains Road until she was 10. She went to John R. Fozzie School from kindergarten to 6th grade, then moved to Greystone Ave, where she attended West Springfield Junior High and graduated from West Springfield Senior High School in 1979. She moved away from West Springfield in the 80s to visit Arizona and stayed about a year. She came home and lived in other towns in Western Mass until settling back into good old West Side in 1984, where she bought a condo in Wentworth Estates, the old garden apartments, and has resided there ever since. She pursued 3 associates from Berkshire Community College, obtained a BS in Business Administration from Western New England University, and received a Master's of Science in Communication and Information Management from Bay Path University. Her career path started as a bartender, which actually put her through many of her degrees. She has never paid for any of her degrees because she always pursued jobs that allowed her to go to school through working. She started in computers, but then excelled at business processing, where you actually work in the technology to progress in business processes. She ultimately settled into records management, which utilizes all her skill sets of technology and business processes. It's called the digital divide. She can communicate in non-geek and geek and get the job done. She loves what she does because after 9/11, Arthur Anderson, Iran, caused such an awareness for record management, her job has become so important. She continues this day making large corporations aware of their need to make their records secure and retained for the proper retention required by the laws of the record management consultant. She loves to travel and has been to Spain, England, Ireland, Scotland, France, twice to Italy, and half of the U.S. Loves the islands. She has been to Jamaica and Aruba and plans to go to many more. She has been a trustee for the West Springfield Boys and Girls Club since 1979. Her hobbies are cooking, singing, and trying new food. Most of all, she enjoys spending time with her family and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 7.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, now we're on to the trivia part of the evening. We're going to have, sorry?
I was just going to tell you, just tell them that there's on the table are pencils and pads, and they can do the trivia, turn off their cell phones, no cheating, and not to yell out answers.
Okay, so this is a crowd interactive event as well. So we're about to have the trivia and bonus questions part of the evening. We have 5 trivia questions about Irish heritage, 5 about West Springfield history, and then 5 yes or no questions. There will be no hand raisings for this. For this, there are pads and pencils on each table. We ask that we're going to go off the honesty principle that the Irish have here. Turn your cell phones off, put them in your pockets.
They were so on.
Please do not use them when utilizing or looking for any answers to the questions. And now we will start this portion. Yes, and please, for the contestants' sake, please do not yell the answers out. We do not need that. Thank you. Okay. So you want to do
Alternate.
Irish? You want to do West Side question 1?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. So for the first question of the trivia portion of the evening, it's going to be a West Springfield question. What was the original use of the building property now known as the Crest Room? Remember, don't yell out.
John, can you repeat it again, please?
Absolutely. What was the original use of the building property now known as the Crest Room?
Don't yell out. Write it down. Write it down. Along with your number.
Oh, careful.
Okay?
Okay.
Charlie, is that yours?
Let's see the Okay, while our judges are tallying our contestants' answers, the answer for everyone participating is Frank's Market. So the building that the Crest Room used to be utilized as was Frank's Market. Thank you. Frank's Market. Frank's Market.
Okay, so we're going to alternate. So now we're going to do the Irish question. I'm standing out this way so I can see contestant number 1. She's hiding behind the little thing here. Hi, contestant number 1. Okay, Irish question. What profession does a leprechaun supposedly practice? A, a shoemaker, B, a blacksmith, or C, a goldsmith? A leprechaun is A, a shoemaker, B, a blacksmith, or C, a goldsmith. So write A, B, or C and your numbers and hand them in. Didn't know that.
Wow. You want to just put them all right here?
Yeah. Oh, there they are.
Yes, yeah, I saw them walk down.
Okay, all of our contestants have submitted, so the answer is A, the shoemaker.
Okay, so now on to the second question for the West Springfield trivia portion. There are many neighborhoods in West Springfield. Name 3 of them. So there are many neighborhoods in West Springfield. Name 3. The answers are not mine, yours, and hers. Or his. They're not acceptable forms of answers.
I know. It's like I'm drinking a drink and I'm not. How do you give the answer?
I'm gonna name the.
Oh, they give. Okay. I didn't know they put them on there. I was like, how do you know all of them? Like,
Okay. Yeah.
So you can do another one of those if you
Okay.
like, so we can each try 3.
Okay, so what?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So while we're waiting for the judges to tally the contestants' answers, I have one more audience trivia question.
Okay, I'm gonna be Arlene.
And Bridget is going to be our lead for this. Raise your hands. If you ask for an Irish coffee in a restaurant, what do you get? The answer is coffee with whiskey in it. 15 minutes later, you
Right. So now these are done.
Yeah, so now those are done. Okay, so this is the simple question for what's
We're waiting for them.
Yeah.
You're waiting. I think you're good. We're good?
Yeah. All right, so now you're going to do the second
So you're
question.
going to do the answers.
Oh, yes. Okay. So for those of you wondering what neighborhoods in West Springfield there were, I'm just going to list them. So we have the Merrick section, Tatham, Cooks, Riverdale, Mittenegg, and Vets. So that's Merrick, Tatham, Cooks, Riverdale, Mitteneggs, and Vets. And the center of town.
What happened?
I didn't know what center of town, but I was like, hey, you know,
Right.
not my strongest.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
Thanks.
You're a city councilor. Hey, high five. High five. At least you're not a district councilor.
All right.
Mittenegg, where's that?
Irish question number 2. You ready?
Sean, you should be doing these.
In what era did the potato famine occur? A, 1940 to 1944. B, 1845 to 1849. Or C, 1790 to 1794. Potato famine.
No.
A, 1940 to 1944. B, 1845 to 1849. Or C, 1790 to 1794.
Working on it. Yeah. As you know, real hard.
3 years later. Which is like, this was one of the worst ones. The one that was the worst.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Only get grandfather this? Helping.
I'm not in charge, I don't care. Yeah. The contestants are getting a little antsy. Yeah. I don't know if you didn't tell them that there's not booze included in the game, but
Oh, what kind of Irish men is this?
we're done? Alright, so the potato famine was it B, 1845 to 1849. I think they got it right. That reminds me of the Mighty Ducks. Where ducks fly together. They all have them, I guess,
Okay.
like the kazoos.
So the West Side question, Sean.
So on to the West Springfield question. What establishment today was the original home office of Friendly's?
Do it again, they can't answer.
Is there an order they So what establishment today was the original home office for Friendly's? So repeat for the audience, I know there's a microphone that looks one way or the other. What establishment today was the original home office of Friendly's?
They were going to move here.
In West Springfield.
They were going to move their whole establishment here. Come they moved it down. Highland Ave, yeah. What's the answer?
What do you mean, what's the answer, Mayor? Can we get that on we got that on film, right? Mayor doesn't know the answer?
That's why, that's what the other experience said.
It's not the original home office.
The building?
I mean, they used to make ice cream in the basement. But, oh.
Keep that.
Thank you.
Somebody has to look out for you.
I'll have to have Chris go through that later and be like, hey, make sure you edit all that out.
So this isn't live?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Is it live?
And And the longer
That's
you
why.
answer,
You can't do things.
Beep,
I ruin it.
beep,
I ruin it.
ladies and gentlemen, it's classic burgers. So classic
Whoa, that was quite the uproar.
home office and friendly.
Go there. They make ice cream right now.
I'm going to just take a little break so everyone can get a cocktail order. Yeah, come on, waitress, let's go.
The cocktail runner is probably drunk. All right.
What's going on?
Do we have any more trivia? Did we do all five?
We did all 5 of the questions. We did 3 before we even got
Yeah,
it.
you know what it was? Is I was going to do 10, and then everybody said no.
All right,
don't do
everybody?
10.
Contestants, are you ready? Okay. Irish question. What meat goes into the traditional Irish stew? No, we don't yell it out. I don't know if that's the answer, but don't listen to that. What meat goes in Irish stew?
Lettuce. Lettuce.
Carrots.
Potato.
I wonder if the vegan cook knows this. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. It's nice.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Either.
Those I have to check. I have to make sure there wasn't anything in there that I didn't know how to pronounce.
Well, and I
I'm
almost.
like weirded out about that, just to make sure that I didn't have anything that was like.
And you can always ask me if you know.
Okay. The scores are in. Tally. So the answer is lamb. I hope they gave you credit for that. Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Now for the 4th West Springfield question. The Rocher's Forest was originally known as.
Teacher.
So to repeat the question, the Rocher's Forest was originally known as.
So look in the mirror and tell yourself. Right. You're great, you're wonderful, everybody likes you. It's not like Rodney Dangerfield used to do that. Great, you're wonderful, everybody likes you. I know. Blame it on the waitress. Blame it on the waitress. She didn't do her best. I can see the steam. Coming out of their ear. Oh, watch out behind you, Sean.
The worst part of the night. All right, and for everyone waiting, the answer is the windmill. So the Rocher's
Windmill.
Forest was originally known as the windmill.
Are you ready? Yep. Okay. I know the contestants are just getting yelled at. So U.S. city? The first St. Patrick's Day parade celebration was in what U.S. city?
Sorry.
One more each. So one more each, and then intermission.
Well, 5 yes or no's.
Oh, right. So right here.
Yeah.
Give us alternate them.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, the answers are in, and the answer is Boston.
All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the last West Springfield question of the evening, please remember, try not to yell the answers out. What was the name of the junkyard located near Morgan Road? So what was the name of the junkyard located near Morgan Road?
No, was he here the whole time? Well, you can acknowledge him if you want while we're waiting.
While we're waiting for the answers, I'd like to say good evening to State Rep Mike Spence. Mike, thanks for coming out tonight.
He's not listening.
All right, and so the question was, what was the name of the junkyard located near Morgan Road? The answer, Sockers. Sockers.
Spelling doesn't count, does it?
Spelling doesn't count, we don't take points.
So this is the last question on Ireland. And then we'll move on to the bonus round where you get to use your paddles, your yes or no. Alright, so the last one for this is the city of Cork, Ireland is named that because A, it makes the corks for beer bottles. B, after the king's name, Cork. Or C, Cork is another name for marshes. Cork, Ireland is named A, because it makes the corks for beer bottles. B, after the king, Cork. Or C, because it's another name for marshes. Marshes. Not marshes.
Bridget.
No, can't change it.
So when we go over these are really statements. So we're going to have to add.
True or false? You just say true or false.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes, true or false.
Just like no. So yes or no questions. So yes or no, St. Patrick's should change the color. Yeah, you can just add it to it.
Kind of a little, yeah.
That's fine. Everybody else set?
They are now. That's it. That's it.
Alright, we're ready for the bonus round. So the answer is C. Cork is another name for marshes. So now we're going to start with the bonus round, so get your paddles up. We're essentially going to give you a statement, and you're going to say yes or no. Okay?
No, there's no middle ground. It's a yes or it's a no.
No, maybe.
All right, so the first is, was St. Patrick the one that changed Ireland's national color to green? Yes or no? So the question is was it St. Patrick that changed Ireland's national color to green? All right, so the answer is no. It was not St. Patrick's.
Are you ready? Question 2. You're gonna redeem yourself? Okay.
No change. I was facing it.
All right. The Josiah Day House is the oldest brick salt box house in the United States. Yes or no?
Say that again.
The Josiah Day House is the oldest brick salt box house in the United States. We got. Everybody's up. Yes. The answer is yes. Good job.
So the third question is, was Ireland the first country in Europe to grow potatoes on a large scale? So was Ireland the first country in Europe to grow potatoes on a large scale?
I love it. They all like look at each other and they're like, let's just say no.
Well,
You're competing against each other.
the background's different in the front row.
Yeah. Remember, they're competing against each other, ladies.
I'm totally guessing.
Get that competitive edge. Okay.
You can't change your mind.
So the answer? Yeah. The answer is yes. Ireland was the first country in Europe to grow potatoes on a large scale.
Question 4. Question 4. You ready? Irish pubs. Not that any of you guys have been to them, but are they open every single day of the year?
In what?
Irish pubs. Irish pubs are open every single day of the year. Yes or no? No.
In Ireland? In Ireland.
Oh, in Ireland.
Okay.
So in Ireland, Irish pubs are open every single day of the year. Yeah. I'm proud of you. Go ahead, stand up. You do what you. Whatever you're. Be confident. Be confident. Stand out against the crowd. Yeah. Okay. So you're the only one that's wrong. The answer is no. They are not open on Christmas and they are not open on Good Friday.
All right, and now for the last question on the yes or no portion of tonight's trivia section. A typical Irish 7-course meal consists of a 6-pack of beer and a potato. Yes or no?
I like that.
So again, a typical Irish 7-course meal.
What kind of potato? You think it's
consists
baked
of a
or
6-pack
like
of beer and a
mashed?
potato.
Is that a 7-course meal?
Depends on who you ask.
They don't have much more than that,
A little bit more.
A little more substance to them.
All right, so the answer is it's an Irishman's choice. So either way you go. Depends on who you ask.
Oh, y'all got it right.
All right, so at this intermission.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. So at this time, it's going to be intermission. I would like to thank the contestants so far for participating. If you guys can all exit the stage for a brief few moments, get refreshments, and everyone else in the crowd, and we'll be back. Thank you very much.
All right, back to our competition that we have going on here to crown the 2018 Senior Colleen. We are at this time, Sean and I have put our brains together.
Somewhat.
We probably made like a brain.
Yeah.
And we came up with some questions for them And so we're going to ask each contestant to come out individually. We will ask them the question, and they will provide us their answer, and then I think they're staying up here, correct? The boss says yes. Okay. So, without further ado, contestant number 1. How are you?
Very well.
Are you having fun?
I'm having a blast.
Great. Okay, so how do you apply your experience of raising 3 children, having your own law practice, and all of your involvement in the various boards and associations to educating your students at Elms College?
Could you repeat that?
How do you apply your experiences from being a mom to 3 kids, having your own law practice, and all of your involvement in the various boards and associations?
Well, the way I apply that to my students at Elms College is I treat every single one of them as if they were my child. It's as simple as that. I don't know how many of you have been to college lately, but the caliber of student is a little bit different, and they need a lot of hand-holding, and I'm pretty good at that, as my children can attest to. Well, the young one's laughing because she just moved to Ireland. She's been in Ireland for 6 months, so she doesn't need too much hand-holding. And my oldest daughter is in her first year law school. But yeah, that's how all those experiences really led up to me being able to help my students at Elms College as best I can, and to get them ready for the real world. There's a big difference between leaving college and heading out to a scary place. The majority of my students to this day, since 2004 I've been teaching, they still contact me. So they are like my family.
Thank you very much. Contestant number 1.
And contestant number 2.
I'm sorry. Yes, you. I moved This is you. I know.
That's me.
Yeah.
I got a new one. Yes, perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Contestant number 2, how are you?
Stand and face.
So as a woman working in a career path which mainly involves men, what is the most difficult hurdle you've had to overcome as a computer programmer, and what has helped you through it?
Well, the first thing I wanted to say is I hope that it isn't just overcome by men, and we're trying to change that, which is why I do the Girls Who Code Club.
Yes.
We're trying to get younger girls, actually it's getting into the elementary school level now, to get younger girls into computer programming, and girls can really do anything that they set their mind to. I have both female and male students, and they're both just as capable as the other. So for me to get into it is one thing I did was agreed to go to a month-long training, given a part of my summer, so that I could teach it to both girls and boys. So.
Great. Thank you very much.
Everything's just keep in order. Just keep in order.
Keep it going.
Contestant number 3.
What's wrong with me?
How about you come right here?
Come on over here.
Oh, I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you.
You want me to answer anything?
No, you're good.
I was hoping she would answer. All right, I'll try.
She's a great.
I'm going to go way over here by Sean.
Okay, and you can stand right here. Hi, Jesse. How are you? Oh, good.
Right next.
Okay. So I did really want to ask you, I'm not going to ask you this, but I was going to ask you how many tickets you actually got out of from knowing the police officers, but we figured we wouldn't put everyone on blast right here, so we're going to go with another question.
Okay, good.
Okay? So you can keep that one. Oh, okay.
By knowing them.
Oh, okay. So here's your real question.
Okay.
As the former president of the Rotary Club, and the third female at that, What challenges did you face, and how did you resolve them to move the club and their mission forward?
So serious.
That is a serious question.
It is.
You're a serious person, though. I can
Yeah,
tell.
I'm very serious.
Very
person.
serious.
The Rotary is a great organization, but they are still a little bit of old school. And I think one of the things that I tried to change was a little bit of bringing more women in. We're involved with a lot of different things, but the more women we bring in, because back, I think it was 1980-something, was the first woman that was allowed to actually join the Rotary.
Yeah.
And so when the credit union
was
asked me,
1991.
sorry, I think
I was on
you're
that.
supposed to know where I work, they said, I want you to be involved somewhere, where would it be? And I said, well, I'll do the Rotary, because I remember back in the 80s that they didn't allow women. So that was my thing, is just bringing as many women in as possible.
Thank you very much.
Where do you want me to go now?
Well, you're supposed to be helping her to her chair.
She's fine.
Oh, she's good. Okay.
She's younger than I am.
Do you want to ask the next question? Or
No, thank you.
Oh, okay.
No. I'll just go back to the bar.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, Mary Ruth Kane, everybody.
And now contestant number 4. You want to climb a little bit? Oh, there we go.
Absolutely. Never done this before. You know, serious too? I was already talking.
How are you? Good. Contestant number 4. In over 9 years and 15 foster children, what do you find has had the most impact on influencing foster children with various backgrounds and ages? So, through 9 years and 15 foster children, what do you find has the most impact on influencing foster children with various backgrounds and ages? Bringing them up, like what's helped?
What's helped me?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Lots of hugs and kisses.
Take the mic. Take the mic.
Mostly I take babies.
Yeah.
Mostly we take small infants. A lot of times, the current ones we have, the 2-year-old we have has fetal alcohol syndrome. So there's challenges there. I have lots of people come through my doors to help them, early intervention, and OTs and speech. And the youngest one we have, that's 3.5 months old, was born addicted. So she went through withdrawal. We got her 2 weeks old. She came home for a week, ended up back in the hospital with a respiratory infection. A friend of mine and I had to go to Boston Medical Center with her. She doesn't have a diagnosis with her eyes, but because she's had exposure, so she has vision issues, which she's too little yet to know what they are. But so it's heartbreaking, but I still have a heart for the parent, even though you're kind of mad at them, because you kind of think in your head, why did they do this to their children? But I think when someone has an addiction, they just don't get it. Like, they think they're doing the right things, but I don't know how to explain it. When someone has an addiction, it's an addiction and it comes first. It's selfish, but they don't think it that way. I don't really know how to explain it, but we just love them. So we had one little boy go home, which was a wonderful thing.
That's great.
And we are still in contact with the mom on Facebook and Messenger, and we get together, and he was the cutest little baby. Perseus was his name. So it's challenging. I'm up at night, but that's okay, because I get all the cuddles to myself.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah, geez. You got 5?
Steph, yeah, which we switched. The question.
Oh, yeah. Not the people.
Right, not the people. Contestant number 5.
Yeah.
Come on up. Come on up to the hot seat. We got a real doozy for you.
Okay.
How
Well, how are
Good.
you?
Very, very well. So, as someone who has grown from an employee to now the owner of a company, what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs?
I would say my best skill is never denying anything that was ever presented to me as far as knowledge. Gain all you can, take every opportunity, and someday it'll pay off. And I think that's where I am today. I've never said no to any job, any opportunity, any education that a corporation could offer me. Hey, you want to try this, you want to try that. Increase your skills, and those skills all add up.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Contestant number 6.
I don't think it's going to be. Hopefully they're
It's
not.
hard to read your handwriting. You have like neat handwriting for a man, but it's kind of really.
Okay, let's hope. I just want the questions solved.
Come on, don't be shy.
How are you?
I'm fine.
So contestant number 6.
That would be me.
In your bio, you stated that your attributes, or some of them, are encouraging, hospitable, merciful, loyal, friendly, among others. How do those traits tie in when you're raising foster children?
Wow, that's a good one. You know, I try to see the best in everyone, and sometimes that's really hard, but we love these children like they were our own from day one, and we had some difficult children, and we had some heartbreak, and I grew from that, and I would like to think that they grew from that. And that's no Blarney. I have the Blarney Stone, you know. But no, it was rewarding. It was something that actually grew me up as well. So we are in touch with some of our foster children still today. And it's sometimes really great and sometimes not so great. So you have to learn to have the attributes that will help you to deal with all of that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And last but certainly not least, contestant number 7.
Stay up here. Stay up here.
Do you need Sean or are you good? You ready? Okay. I didn't know.
He warned me already.
Oh, okay. He's secretarian.
Yeah, he's
Backward
secretarian,
starter.
yeah,
I get it. I get it. How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
So our question for you is, you have been a trustee for the Boys and Girls Club for over 35 years, if I did my math right. What has made you stay for so long, and what are you most proud of during your time there?
Well, I started because my sister was involved and my father used to be a director. So it was something that I found was passionate that my family got into, so I decided I'd get into it. I have no children, so it's usually weird that someone would go to a Boys and Girls Club with no children, but I thought I can contribute a lot to the fundraisers and the events that they had there. So I find that being part of that is what's been most important to me, is that I can give back to the community and make the community a better place to be for everybody, especially the children.
Thank you.
Line up for a final walk.
She's gonna go to Jimmy to put on.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't know why he's still standing here.
I know. With the Senior Colleen.
And now for the actual mayor of West Springfield, William Rockwell, from the 2017 Senior Colleen winner.
We're gonna help her.
Wendy Ward.
Okay, so just hold on to that.
Contestants.
And then just invite the rest of them in.
Yeah.
Wendy, please.
This is your last time.
Have to sit in there, Wendy.
Soak it in. Is there things?
And now for the 2018 contestants, if you would please take your final walk.
I'm here to help you out. That's why.
That's part of this job.
Good job.
All right, I'm gonna let them introduce themselves and then.
All right, now that the trivia portion of the evening is over, we're going to have the contestants introduce themselves to you, and then we'll name the winner of the contest.
Hello everyone, I'm contestant number 1, otherwise known as Caroline Murray.
Hello, I am contestant number 2, also known as Lee Rogers Picos.
Hello, I'm contestant number 3, and I'm Diane Murphy.
I am contestant number 4, and I'm under the witness protection plan. My name is Joni Brew, Pero Brew.
I am contestant number 5, and my true identity is Tina Wood.
This has been a lot of fun. My name is Donna McAdam, contestant number 6.
Hi, I'm contestant number 7, and my name is Tracy Ann Black.
Yeah, we don't want to lose
So
anyone.
one last bit from our 2017 Senior Colleen Contest winner, Wendy Ward.
I just wanted to thank all you girls for entering it this year. I hope you all had fun and a blast. I tell you, it's so much fun. Restful to the ladies. But I want to thank all my people.
Thank you, Wendy.
You're not getting out yet.
No, you gotta stay. You have to stay because we have some people to thank before we announce the big winner. So I'd like to obviously thank the St. Patrick's Committee, specifically asked to recognize the Senior Colleen Committee if you want to rise so everybody can, did a great job. This has really become a very fun tradition. Arlene, I know you're at the head of that. I know you put a lot of hard work into it. And I just want to say I do enjoy being here. I think it's come a long way since it started. And it's truly a lot of fun. Obviously, the tough job tonight done by the judges. So we just want to take a second to introduce them. Nicole, she's originally from Springfield. She resides there with her husband, Kevin, and her baby boy, Chase. She works at Berkshire Bank, and she's a member of the Agawam and the Holyoke Parade Committees. Thank you, Nicole. Amber, originally from California. She lives in Springfield, and she's currently an assistant solicitor with the city of Holyoke. So thank you, Amber. And Katie. Katie is originally from Holyoke. She lives in Westfield, and she's an 8th grade English teacher and basketball coach in Chicopee. So thank you all for being here. And at this time, I'm going to let Sean, seeing as this is his first time doing this, he gets all the excitement, announce who has won the 2018 Senior Colleen, which will be crowned by Marshall Jim Martin, and 2017 Senior Colleen Wendy Ward. So thank you all.
Before you announce, John, I'm going to let Wendy do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No Steve Harvey moments. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, now for the 2018 Senior Colleen Contest, our winner is contestant number 5.